Okay, I'm going to give you an update on yesterday. Today's a bit quieter because there's a lot of white water out in the bay. So it gives everyone a little bit of a respite. You won't get the bigger life dinghies across today because of the white water. You might get a few small ones coming across with refugees in. So, right, yesterday, and what a day. God, a lot went on yesterday. The group that was made to walk from Lesvos to Mytilene, I'll tell you a bit about the group. There was 3 pregnant women, there was a very sick man, and there was a little girl with cuts on her feet, another guy with cuts on his hand. There was a woman with a bad wrist. Anyway, they were made to walk from Lesvos to Mytilene by the authorities here. We stopped them just outside Lesvos and we said, this is impossible. I don't want the deaths of these children and that on my conscience. And I don't think many people here in Greece would like that either. So we managed, the people of Lesvos got cars together and the tourists got cars together, and towards the late afternoon we managed to get them down. All the cars arrived. It's a very moving moment. When the authorities won't do nothing and you have the people doing it. All these cars arrived with all these mixed nationalities, Greek people from Lesvos as well, and they put all these children and women in the cars and that. It was unbelievable. It made me cry. It was just to see the humanity which has been lost here in Europe. This is what Greece is about. This is what Greece is about, humanity. It's a beautiful place, it's beautiful people. I've come further inland now because the wind's quite high on the north coast. So I'm on one of the reservoirs here, which is very peaceful. And as you can see, look at this. Let's just pan around a bit. This is Greece, look at it. Look at it, absolutely fantastic. It's just unbelievable. What a place, what a place. Anyway, there was 11 boys left after everyone else went, so I went and had a shower and that. I came back in the evening and I got them all a gyropita each, and I gave them some torches because they were insistent, because we had no more transport, they were insistent they were going to walk. So I said, the road itself is very busy and very fast road going in. So there's a couple of torches here, keep them, you might need them. And one of them offered to give me some money. I said, look, you need the money. I've got no money, but it's not the point. You need the money, you have to feed yourself. Anyway, they went off on their ways, nice lads. So, I met, just after that, another group of 30, 40, all men. So they're quite fit, but they didn't have much. And I had no water left in the car or anything. And they were going out to where I live. Someone had given them a map, and they'd drawn on the map the long way to Mytilene. So they wouldn't walk the main road, so the tourists wouldn't see them. So they have to walk the dirt tracks up from Heftalou to Sycamenia and round on the east coast, which would take about another day. Yeah, whoever gave them this map, God, what a person. Then I met some more. I turned these people round, obviously, and told them the quickest way in, even though it's going to take them a few days. Anyway, I met some more, another group of 5 or 6, and they had another map. And this map was showing them to go around the west coast. Going up through a place called Skataros and Scalahori and going back around to Kalani, taking them at least another day. Again, to keep them out the tourist views. This is absolutely unbelievable. The maps they had, there was a black marker fence showing them which way to go. And as I said to both groups, look at the common sense, straight down the centre. Use the main road, use the tarmac roads, and be very careful. It's very dangerous, it's very fast cars. Yeah. Okay. The other thing is, the authorities here yesterday, they insisted that these people walk. Okay, I've been talking to people this morning, and there's layer after layer after layer of bureaucracy here. And there's people sitting around doing nothing. These are the people we need to sort out in Greece, But they, if, just say for instance, they got their way, because they wouldn't let the buses, they said the drivers would lose their license. The taxi drivers would lose their license if they took any refugees. Now, just say, for instance, we let these people go ahead, these women and children, walking for 3 days without water and food, because the authorities here don't give them nothing. No water, no food, nothing. So if we let them walk, right, say we lost 3, 4, 5 children on the way down. And say the press of Europe got hold of this, this death march. You can say goodbye to tourism in Greece. You could really say goodbye to tourism in Greece. Just for a few people making a few stupid decisions. Now, the Greek people here are suffering. We all know they're suffering very bad. But these people that are making these stupid decisions here need putting to one side. Stop putting up barriers for these refugees. Stop making excuses for the refugees. The mayor of the island, the mayor of Lesvos, he came after my wife put his email address on the internet. The next day he arrived because, he doesn't come here to look at the refugees or anything. And, okay, he has his problems down there, we know. Okay, anyway, he came, he spoke to the people in the harbour, but the tourists are right down the harbour, and they managed to get a bit of land behind the back. They had one toilet and electricity for a light in the evening. Anyway, he spoke to the owners of the restaurants, but he didn't go down and speak to the refugees. I don't know the mentality. A mayor of an island or a mayor anywhere, and politicians everywhere, they pick up the babies and they get the publicity and everything else, and they try to get back into power again. What we have here, I don't know, because he doesn't want to know. As far as I know, the stories I'm getting, he's not trying to help lay buses on. He's not trying to help and talk to the people of Lesvos and say, come on, if you've got extra vegetables in the garden, bring them down, we need them. If you've got extra water, bring the water, fill your bottles from the wells, things like this, which a normal mayor would do, a normal human being would do. Yeah, he would be pleading with the people of the island to help these poor people, and that's what Greeks do. And this is what I can't get my head around, this guy. I really can't get my head why he's so abusive towards the refugees. I just can't get my head around it at all, because this is not Greek people. Greek people, their hospitality is unbelievable. Yeah, they look after everyone. And the amount of tourists say to me they had such a great time here. Yeah, they have really, really good time. But something needs to be changed here. The Prime Minister has to get involved here, I think, because these layers of bureaucracy here, they're all interconnected, and something needs to be done. We've come across these problems here time and time again. These people, they sit up on their high horses as gods. I don't know, it's not right. A mayor is there to help the people. Not just the people of the island, he's to help the tourists. He's to help the refugees. He's there to help the people of Greece and everyone else within his boundaries. Yeah. Okay, that's that bit done out. I want to take a run through on a few little things which I wanted to say. So what I want to say, yesterday when they kicked the refugees out of Molivos, they took them from the bottom of the harbour, all these babies and children and that. I had one woman speak to me last night, and she was crying. And she said, I was there in Molivos this morning when the police pickup truck was herding the refugees up and over the hill and out of Molivos, and the children and the babies. Another police officer was by the taxi rank, making sure none of them get in the taxis, and he told the taxis that if they take them, he will take their licenses. So they have no business. Oh, this woman said, I cried. I couldn't believe what was happening here. Reality hit home with her. Okay. The Coast Guard here. The Coast Guard all around Greece, they need help. They really need help, Yesterday I went down early in the morning and I said, what do you need? You're putting up with all this all the time. What do you need? What are you short of? Are you short of masks and, surgical gloves and that? And they said no. But that they say we get the supplies of, but we don't have any other supplies. We do not have paper for the fax machines, the printers. We do not have pens and papers. We have 1 pen or 2 pens in the office. We do not have disinfectant for the toilet. We don't have something to wash our hands with and things like this. So I said, okay. Now, a lovely old couple said to me, Eric, if the Coast Guard needs anything, let me know. Anyway, they gave me some money, and I went in to Petra and I brought all the supplies, everything they need, and I took it into them. But on the way in, this is when I see the tourists coming out, the death march walking out. So I went and gave the supplies, and I went back to the other people. Right, Mytilene. I had a phone call last night. The children of Mytilene are doing their best. The children of Mytilene, not the mayor, not the politics. The children are doing their best to feed the people in the port. In the port, there's a chain link fence. This chain link fence, the people are behind it, and there's old cars being pushed in there for the people to sleep in. The children rang last night, a friend of my daughter's, and said, Eleni, we're going to try and get some money, and we're going to try and get some help from the shopkeepers here and get some pizzas, and we can put some pizzas through the holes of the fence for the people. Oh God, this is the children doing it, Oh God, what an unbelievable situation. At least the children of Greece have heart, they have a good heart in them. Fair play to you. Great, carry on. Troika. Now, Troika, this is what I want to tell a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand. Troika came in here to help Greece. They done more damage. God, the damage Troika done here, and they're still doing it. It's just unbelievable. They brought in all these new laws. We don't have tax allowances here no more. I think it was 10,000 or something, but we're down to zero. We don't have tax allowances anymore. We're taxed on everything. We're taxed if you rent a house. You're taxed on the amount you rent. If you have a car, you're taxed extra tax because of the car. All these different taxes coming in from Troika, and they call this austerity. Troika, you bloody destroyed this country. You've actually destroyed it. And fair enough, you say, oh, we've made some mistakes. Yeah, it's nice of you to sit in your big office saying you made mistakes. The suicide rate's gone up. There's people lost their businesses. There's families split up. No one has any money. Everyone's up to their eyeballs in debt. And you sit there and say, oh, we might have made some mistakes. You know what my tax was last year? It was 90% of my net income. 90%. I haven't paid my tax or all my tax. I can't pay it. Impossible. Yeah, and the people of Europe have to know what's going on here. This is just how would all the people of Europe want to pay 90% tax? Yeah, how would they like that and live on 10% of what they earn? Try to live, because you can't live on 10% of what you earn. It's impossible. Yeah, everyone's borrowing money off everyone else, and everyone else is trying to help everyone here. Everyone's doing their best. And on top of that, we have this refugee crisis where we get no help from anyone, from no aid agencies, from nothing. And the European Parliament rejected the extra help, the extra 20,000 coming into Europe and everything. I mean, what sort of people are these? God's sake, 20,000 people spread out amongst Europe is nothing. That's a couple of people in every 10 towns, if that. One person in every 10 towns of Europe. It's just disgusting. It's unbelievable. Jesus. But Troika, you've done so much damage here. You've done a tremendous amount of damage. Yeah, and Troika is IMF is part of Troika, the World Bank and all that, These people don't pay tax, I was told. They don't pay tax. What? They're charging me 90% tax and they don't pay tax themselves? Jesus Christ. The world's gone bloody crazy. These people are earning millions a year. I'm only earning 10,000 euros, 12,000 euros if I'm lucky. And I have to pay 90% of that in tax, and I have to spend the rest of the time trying to get the family to support me and support my family and clothe my daughter and my wife and put food on my table. I have to get my family from England to do it. And pay. People here, they really are suffering because they're all in the same boat here. And a lot of them don't have support from outside. Huh? And then there's these big fat cats, millions every year, they don't even pay tax. Why don't all you people from Troika and the World IMF, why don't you people from the IMF, why don't you give all the money you should be paying in tax? Let's say you should be paying at least 40%, not 90, 40, and give all that money to help the refugees and help the Greek people. Instead of coming here, destroying businesses, destroying everything. You've destroyed growth. Instead of coming here and creating growth, you've destroyed it. You've made a right bloody mess here. And believe me, any other country, don't let them in. And don't even listen about this austerity. This austerity is rubbish. This is for the bankers. This is for the rich fat cats. Yeah? No one's trying to help the people here. Yeah? This needs sorting out. This really needs sorting out. I don't know how to do it, but someone somewhere has to get their head around this situation, because these people are just greedy bastards. They do it deliberately. And you know what's happening now in Greece? I've been told just recently. These people, these bankers and these bloody politicians and everything, that has brought Greece to its knees, and they're fucking destroying it, and they won't even give it a little lifeline now. You know what they're doing? They're coming in and buying up land for next to nothing. They're buying up the Greek land next to nothing. Banks are buying up swathes of land because they've destroyed the country, and they've brought the prices rocketing down. They've collapsed the whole bloody... It all seems a little bit strange to me. You know, these bloody horrible people. Yeah, they're horrible. Jesus. Yeah. Okay, that's that one I'd like to get. Sorry about this. It's a bit of a what's the name. Right. Tax laws. Right. I heard a story. I heard it again yesterday. I've heard it several times. ISIL. You know, this evil, bloody evil sweeping across the world. This ISIL group. These people coming here, like one bloke I spoke to, he sees some of his family beheaded. If they line them up, the villages up in Syria and that, and if they can't recite the Quran, they put them on their knees and behead them. I couldn't even recite the Bible, you know, impossible. I would have said nearly 100% of the people living around the world couldn't recite their own religion. And these people are coming in just beheading them, you know. This is just sick, absolutely sick. And these people, these refugees, they're watching their families die, and they're running for their lives and everything else. And then they come across and they get to Turkey, and they get bullied by the police in Turkey and all their possessions taken off of them. Then they come here and they get herded like cattle here, and they have to go on these bloody death marches. Oh, God, what sort of world we come to? What the bloody hell have we come to? Huh? It's just unbelievable. God. You know, one lady yesterday, her face, it was quite bad. Obviously, something really bad happened. She was only with her daughter. Her daughter's feet were cut and bleeding, and her face was really bad. And God, you know, we have no doctors here or anything to help these people. And she didn't want to be filmed, or quite obviously, quite obviously didn't want to be filmed. And I said, no problem, I won't film you, you know. But quite obviously, she'd gone through the horrific thing, and now she's having to put up with all this crap here, which is no need to be. There's no need. You know, the people here had money. The people of Lesvos had money for a bus yesterday. We could have laid on a bus for these people very easy. But they were told if they do it, it's illegal. You know, God, these laws need to be broken down. These stupid bloody people here, these stupid politicians and stuff, and you know the hierarchy of this island. There's something terribly wrong here. It needs sorting out, because this is not Greece. This is not Greek people doing this. This is a few people sitting on the top thinking they're gods. Yeah. And I know it's not coming from the Prime Minister, and that this guy is a normal guy. I heard a story that he gave up his flight for a sick child and things like this, and they've left the houses open, the doors to the Parliament and things. They're doing their best in a really bad situation. And, you know, Europe's trying to bring them down big time, you know, which is disgusting. God. Greece really needs a lot of help, it really does. And the propaganda needs to stop, you know. Sorry. The propaganda really needs to stop here. So the press in England and right around throughout Europe, it's what they're doing. The propaganda telling everyone Greece is collapsing and everything else. This is deliberate. This is deliberate by the politicians and bankers, so they can really collapse Greece big time, so all the property prices go down and the land prices go down, and they can come sweeping in here, buying it all up, you know, because Greece is beautiful, the weather's beautiful, everything here is beautiful, and they would like to get their hands on it. They really would like to get their hands on Greece. But by doing that, they're destroying a whole civilization. You know, a civilization where democracy was created, I must say. Here in Greece, democracy was created, and now you get other countries and politicians and bankers trying to destroy it. Jesus. You know, the banks and that, they're like bloody vampires, they are. And these politicians, they're like vampires. I don't know what the solution is. I think the solution with politicians, you know, if they're so... someone really wants to be a politician anywhere in the world. If they really want to be a politician, open your bank accounts up. Open your assets up before you become a politician. and keep them open so people know how much money you're earning. And people know what you're buying, so you're not filling your back pockets like the majority of politicians around the world are doing. Yeah? They don't hide your bank accounts in Switzerland and places like this and everything else. Let's have your bank accounts open. And when a scandal comes up, a list of names of bankers or something, or someone's doing something bloody evil in the world, yeah, it needs to be published, not hidden. The people of the world need to see these people. They need to see what we're living with here, yeah, around this world, because these are the people that are destroying this bloody planet, and they really do need sorting out. And the only way we're going to sort it out is like what happened yesterday with all these cars, just normal people coming together and helping. Yeah, there was like something out of the Bible yesterday. If you'd been through everything we've been through here, and you see that happen, God, it just moved me so much to see all these people from all nations just getting cars and hiring cars, and people from the village, everything else, just and all knowing they could be arrested and put in prison, but they didn't care. They're humans, and they're going to help humans. Yeah. So, anyway, I've had my little say. I'll put this on. We got a bit of a respite from the big dinghies today anyway, so the only problem is tomorrow, if it goes calm, then we're going to get a big influx tomorrow, and I really don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because I was talking to people last night and what do we do? If the police are going to stop them and the Coast Guard's going to stop them coming into Lesvos, they're not allowed to get on buses or taxis. I know the good people that came yesterday, they most probably do it the next day and the next day, but they have work and they've got to earn money and they've got to try and survive themselves also. It should be down to the authorities. And as for the aid agencies that we've been pleading with and everything else, other than the French one, Doctors Without Borders, fair play to you. Thank you very much, Doctors Without Borders, for publicising this and everything else. You've done very well. And Amnesty International, thank you very much, very well. But someone came through on the internet this morning and said, Eric, they're pleading with us on telly for money, these big agencies, Oxfam, Red Cross and all this people, Red Crescent, and they're not there doing anything. And they haven't been there doing anything. Now, I'm screaming and shouting at these agencies, but I don't know. I don't know. Can anyone come through and tell me? Is there any stupid thing here in Greece saying that foreign aid agencies are not allowed to come into Greece? Because I might be shouting at these people and screaming at them because they're getting all this money and they're not putting a little percentage over here to help the Greeks. And maybe they've been told they're not allowed in. I don't know. I don't know what the crack is here. There's something very wrong here, I know. But can anyone tell me if these big aid agencies are allowed into Greece, And if they are allowed into Greece, can anyone involved with these agencies or anyone that has a contact with these agencies, can they ask why they're not coming here to Greece to help these poor people? Why is it people with no money are trying their best and sharing what they've got? Yeah? I don't know. But anyway, all the propaganda about people, Greece is collapsing and everything else, do not listen to it, please. Greece is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful scenery, beautiful people. There's a lot of... Everyone enjoys themselves here. Everyone enjoys themselves here. Don't listen to the propaganda. And if Greece did collapse, it might, I can't say it's not going to collapse. Because these bankers and that, they're doing their best to finish Greece completely. But if it does collapse in here, God, you were in Greece when it collapsed. Fantastic. I was there. It collapsed and I was there. Great. I was having a great time in the sun and all of a sudden, bang, it's gone. The bankers destroyed Greece, but I was there. Yeah. And if you are here, believe me, your euros will be worth a fortune. Everything's going to devalue here. And the people here will look after you. Believe me, they will look after you. You don't have a problem. There won't be a problem if it collapses. So just come. Just come and support the Greek people. Yeah? Just come to Greece. As many of you can. This will help us, for people to come here and stop listening to the propaganda from these bankers and politicians and everything else. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, everyone again. Everyone. Yesterday was a really moving day with the the death march and everything, and it was a very hard day. It was a very, very hard day for everyone. My daughter was incredible. There was one little girl gave her a little hairband. My daughter cried her eyes out. She's just, God, Dad, I got nothing. And she gave me a little hairband. God. Anyway, thank you for everyone for all your help. and I'll keep you updated. And we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I know there's a French journalist coming today, and a Belgian journalist is interested. But this should have been put out years ago, and in the propaganda and the politicians stopping all this crap, and what they're doing, it's just unbelievable. They're not humans. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.